Hello and welcome to this short video. Over the next few moments, we'll highlight how AgilePoint can easily replace InfoPath forms and clear a path to the cloud. In addition, we can also bring in data from other business systems in a SharePoint form, easily create master detail sorts of forms, and easily model the business logic that runs your business. To get started here, I want to show you the data source that I'll be using for my application. In this case, a SharePoint list. As you can see here, I'm tracking customer name, email, phone number, physical address, city and state. And my child list has a lookup to my parent list. It also captures order date, quantity, unit price, amount, and an item description. We'll use these metadata columns in both lists to automate the layout of our business app. So to start, I'm going to go over to the Build Apps Designer and select Add an App. For today, we're going to be building a form-based application, but what I'm about to demonstrate will also apply to a process-based app. Next, I'm going to select my primary data source, and as mentioned, we'll be using two SharePoint lists. The advantage of doing so here is that these forms will run in the context of SharePoint and will replace SharePoint's new edit and display forms, and also use the logged in user to enter the data. I'm going to give my data source a name and select the appropriate access token. In so doing, AgilePoint is going to populate the site structure underneath. Now this is a pretty large site, so it might take a moment to retrieve all of the sites underneath. Okay, let's select our root site and select my primary list. In this case, the customer details list. Next, I'll select the Fields tab here and unselect all of the columns that I don't need. Next, underneath the Related Entities tab, I'm going to select my child list. Now behind the scenes, AgilePoint is creating a number of application components on my behalf, and we'll see those on screen here in just a moment. We've created two blank forms, new customer details and update customer details, 3 views, all customers, recently created customers, and recently modified customers, with a lookup for each view. So first I will design my new customers form, and to do so, all I'll need to do here is drag and drop from my data model, which correlates to all of the metadata columns that we saw in our list. So first I'm going to start with the customer name, their email address, and phone number. Their physical address is going to take up a little more real estate, so I'm just going to drag this all the way across. City and state. Now just to lend some clarity to what's happening on the form here, I'm going to drag a heading to the top, and I'll title this Customer Information. And let's do the same for the order section. Now for that child table here, I want to drag over the entire node. And because AgilePoint is intelligent enough to know that this is going to be a repeating component, it gives me a selection between a subform and a data grid. So let's select subform here and drag this all the way across. And now we can begin designing our subform. Now I'm starting with just 2 columns here, so I want to add a few columns to capture all of those metadata values. And now I can follow the same process with my child list. We're going to start off with order date, quantity, unit price, amount, and item description. Now I could auto-calculate these values here, but for now let's just leave this as a data entry form. So I'm going to save and check this in. And next I want to carry that same layout from the new customer details form over to the update customer details form. Now, as an option here, I could use the bulk edit piece to make all of these fields here under customer info read only. But for now, let's just click Save and Check In, and then publish this application. Now, before I can use this app in SharePoint, I have one more step, and that is to associate my application with the appropriate list. In the ribbon here, you'll see the AgilePoint icon, so let's click that, and then associate the application that we've just published. Now, as you can see here, AgilePoint has automatically correlated the appropriate AgilePoint forms to replace SharePoint's native new, edit, and display forms. So I'll click Save, and now my application is ready to be used. If I click New here, instead of SharePoint's native form, I will see the responsive AgilePoint form rendering within the SharePoint window. Okay, so here's our responsive form. Let's just add some details here. Order date was today, quantity of 1, unit price of 100, and then click Submit. As you can see here, the data has been entered into my SharePoint list, and if we pull up the child list, we see that we have the details about the order that was placed. This concludes the content for this video.